Hello, I'm Abrar Hussain. I, along with my fellow batchmates, are presenting before you a documentary on animal bioethics. Since bioethical issues are not only restricted to humans only, so we decided to highlight the ethical issues about the living creatures that can't speak for themselves. Yes, the animals. The animals that are used in the experiments and research. Let's start with a small presentation by Mr. Transpolster, followed by an interview with the HOD pharmacology, and then with the caretaker of the animal farm. So, let's begin.
Just because we can test on animals, should we? Greetings everybody, this presentation is done by me, Travis Bolster, so let's get started. If you haven't noticed already, humans are very similar to other organisms, specifically animals. Things like cats and dogs, monkeys and mice. We all have that one thing in common, which is DNA. We share about 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees and about 92% with mice, 90% with cats, 82% with dogs. And we even share 50% of our genes with bananas. Why is this important? Well, this is useful to scientists because they can use the animals as test subjects to discover new medicine that could help illnesses and even prevent death. Although not all animal testing is done for discovering new medicine and helping save lives, some animals are used for cosmetic purposes so that humans could look fabulous, if you know what I mean. If you haven't already noticed or guessed, the downside to this is having to test on animals. Often animals live in harsh conditions. In some circumstances, while being tested on, if a drug hurts the animal, they won't give the animal painkillers or anything to stop the pain because it might affect the drug that they're testing on. So animals are forced to endure pain, which could lead to medical problems and even death. Because of this, many animals are treated horrible, and you could even consider this torture. They have to endure pain from drugs and be kept in captivity. Do animals have rights? What are animals' rights? Do we really have to know all of the medical mysteries? Should some things just be left unknown?
This room since last week. What's wrong with your eyes?
Hello, buddy. Like a song about lives off goats.
You know they don't like that.
That's in the contract.
Ouch. So you're taking the brain, and his body still wiggles?
First of all, we'd like to know something about animal bioethics, and is there a need to highlight this topic?
What happens that ethics is such a broad and universal concept that you cannot just confine it to the humans only. And this animal ethics is something where this is the real partnership between humans and animals. It is the relation that humans should have with the animals. And it is a burning topic in the West. There is more stress is being laid on not only the human ethics but also on the animal ethics. This is not something new that we are talking about the animal ethics. Animal ethics has been there for a long time, since 1400 years ago. Even our religion teaches us how to be humane to the animals. It's not something new, and it's the West that is putting more emphasis on the animals. And here, we in the developing countries, we still have to go a long way so that we can not only the animal ethics, we should have humane approach towards everything in life, with the living, They can be animals, they can be plants, and not talk about the humans.
Could you tell us what are the animals that we use here?
We have an animal house which is registered with the CPC SCA, Ministry of Forest and Animal Welfare, and our department is recognized with there, our animal house is recognized there, and we have certain guidelines which we have to follow while putting these animals in the animal house. We have quite a number of animals, like we have rabbits, we have rats, we have mice, we have guinea pigs, and we perform most of the experiments. We don't use the body parts, we use the whole animals as for experimental purposes, because these animals ethics is very important when we talk about the animal experiments. Because animal experiment, they have a very strong association with the field of medicine. Because once a new drug is introduced in the market, or if you want to see the safety of the drug, the experiments are to be performed in the animals. And for that, you should have animal ethics committee for every institution.
Okay, ma'am. Now, since we know about what animal ethics is, how can these be violated, and what should be the measures taken to prevent this?
Firstly, you should have three things in research, because these animals are used for research purposes. You should restrict the number of animals that are used in animal experiments. Number two, you should be refined. You should use less invasive techniques. For example, if you have to draw the blood or you have to kill the animal, you should use a very humane way of killing the animals. And number third is that you can replace these animal experiments with cell cultures, or you can replace the animal experiments with computer simulations. What we are doing, we are giving computer simulations to the undergraduates as well as to postgraduates. In any experiments where we use animals, we use the whole animal. We use the whole animal without killing without killing them. We don't kill the animals here, but we just demonstrate to the students what are the types of animal experiments that can be done, because you have to show them the psychomotor activities that can be given. You have to show the effect of drugs that can be given. We don't kill them, we just use them as whole.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I hope you will take care of the animals, because they are misused by everybody and they are used as slaves, that we should stop it. And we should have that care and affection, because they feel the same degree of pain, they feel the same degree of loneliness, they feel the mother's love. So we should try to be very human to animals.
Which is animal house technician in charge animal houses. Which is now Abdullah Dar. To achieve animal has a rabbit, to guinea pigs to mice. Purchase diet is different. Ash green vegetable diwan, beji chole diwan, that's one black gram, beji feed diwan. The temperature maintain karan. Unse plus gas temperature asun. Matlab naman rat and mice to guinea pig. Rabbit is temperature to provide problem with him. Magar rat, mice to guinea pigs, you must get come unse plus asun temperature. The light human they do us thawan, the rata light ban karing. Pachi human health care. Bagi staff member says be staff member says which is early morning you want, Karnavan Shiman has Safai Karan Yaratas Niman Ashmata Forum Pesha Boye, Shipan early morning to Pachaman no bedding the one carrying. No bedding carriage Riman Pawan Pati has distilled water in time for the chest machine up, type suya option on the arm option Pavaniman. She has a mother party in the health care. Target Misat is over repeated. Princess Pavai veterinary surgeon Gulaune, veterinary opinion on animal. That one is veterinary surgeon you will allow one. Other Zorat Pay, calcium medicine in Pawan. Bagi says animals rose on mother safari 16 inch variety. Asha, Ashi Matlab Ashim animals, she as the affiliated farmer. जो हमारे अपने पीजी स्टूडेंट्स है यहाँ ना फॉर्म कॉलेज में कभी यहाँ ये डिस्कशन करते हैं वो टिश्यू शॉर्टेज है और ले लेंगे ये एल्बम रेटर्स हैं killing a rabbit. उधर से भी rabbit.
Our interactions with HOD Pharmacology and caretaker of Animal Farm GMC Srinagar revealed that in our college, appropriate measures are taken to ensure safety of animals and provision of better living conditions and facilities for the animals is undertaken. Several animal experiments have been replaced by computer simulation techniques to ensure minimum use of animals in the same. Let's now bring your attention to a more broader domain. Are animals that combine species an unethical alteration of the natural order of the universe? Is it unethical to modify an animal's genetic makeup for a specific purpose without knowing in advance if there will be any side effects that will cause suffering of the animals? Does creating animals by genetic engineering amount to treat the animals entirely as commodities? Is it unethical to create diseased animals that are very likely to suffer? These questions still need to be answered. Because of extremely advantageous health advancements that have benefited and will continue to benefit the lives of human beings, research on animals should continue to be allowed. This is a good, clear thesis statement, but it could be better. It is important to draw a distinct line between the interests of animals and the welfare of human beings. While it is important that we don't mistreat animals wantonly and prevent suffering as much as possible, it is more important that humans can continue to expect great health advancements by experimenting on animals. Ask yourself, would you like to lose an eye, lose a heart, or maybe lose your life for the welfare of animals?